Hello there, and welcome back to the channel. Another review discussion of WandaVision. We're going to be discussing the latest episode, episode 7, entitled Breaking the Fourth Wall. So, how are you doing tonight, Taylor?
I'm doing really good tonight. A lot. I can't wait to discuss this next episode here. A lot of fun.
Yeah, so this is another really good episode. I'm telling you, each episode brings something different to the table. And it's always it keeps me on my toes a lot.
For sure. Yeah. Oh yeah. This one definitely. I was like, just constantly good twists. Everything about that. Yeah. This one just. Yep. This one. I was like, yep. All right. This one's the big one. This one reveals. All right. Got my feet today.
Yeah. So I have listened to some other channels review the episode. I'm hearing a lot of not like major disappointment, but a little disappointment in how they're handling revealing everything. And I don't feel that at all. I think they're doing an excellent job. What do you think about that? Have you seen any of that also?
A little bit. Yeah, no, I mean, the way they're handling it now, granted, I guess I would be like more of a casual fan because without reading the comic books that much, but no, I mean, so far I think they've been doing a good job. I feel like every episode gets me in tune. I'm liking it, and I always want to see what the mystery kind of keeps unveiling itself. And as far as other what I see from other channels, sometimes, I mean, some of the other discussions that I've heard are very interesting as well too. Like some of the things I don't even think about, but for the most part, I mean, it's yeah, it's either hearsay or naysay. But I mean, it's I don't know. I think it's doing really well for what they're doing.
Yeah, I agree too. And like one of to be more specific, I guess. I feel like people are wanting everything now, and like some of them are saying, like if it's going to be like this type of, drop a piece here, drop a piece in this episode, drop a piece in the next episode, piece by piece, then just give it to us all at once so we can binge it and be over with it. But I truly love the week by week, the little breadcrumbs that they've been leaving us. And it's so fun because, talking about the big reveal this week of, Agnes. Last week, I was kind of on the fence about her, the whole time, been thinking that there's something up with Agnes, something's fishy about her, something's going on, and then last week we kind of had this scene with Vision that it kind of pulled me back a little bit and was like, well, maybe there's not anything going on with Agnes. And then this week they just pull the curtain back and it was Agnes all along.
Yep. Oh yeah. That's the trickery. That's what they try to do. They want you to think it's something else, and then it's like, oh wait, no, it was her all along. Pulling strings. I'm
just trying to think. And this episode is just full of breadcrumbs, leading up to the reveal.
Yes. 100% agree. Definitely that's what they definitely did this episode of letting it just once it comes out, and it's like, oh, yep, all right, now it's yes, now it's done. Now it's going to be something more unveiling after that. But I mean, right now that was just huge for for this episode. And
yeah, I think you're right. This is just like the first reveal.
oh yeah, for sure. That it's definitely the first one and the big one for this particular episode, and for the big part of the season so far. I mean, it definitely in the right direction of like just yes, all right, now slowly they're gonna slowly unveil more on from the curtain. But for what they did today was just perfect. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. So let's get into the episode a little bit. We'll start from the beginning. Wanda's in bed, and she's obviously kind of feeling like a hex expanding hangover or something. She's kind of feeling remorse, I guess, a little bit. And she's in her bed. She's thinking about what happened last night. She's pulling the blankets over her head. She's still in her Halloween costume. The kids are coming up and checking on her, seeing if she's okay and everything.
Right.
Any thoughts on that first scene?
Oh, there's a lot there. When the kids were first playing their video game on the TV, their controllers are just over the map. They're looking at each other like, whoa, because they went from like, I think it was like a PS4 controller, and then went to the GameCube, and then Atari and everything, and they're just looking at each other like, whoa, all these controllers, our TVs and everything are just getting messed up. So then they're like, all right, something's going on with their mom. So they went up there to go check, and then she's just like, oh, I don't want to get out of bed. I go play, kids. I don't want to be up. And then she kind of, when she pulls off her cover, she's like, she's looking at herself like, oh, I still have my costume on. What's wrong with me? It was great. I like that. And then let's see. Then that's right. And then she was going when she was going to the kitchen area, getting the cereal and then the milk, and then it's like when she got the milk, it was like well, I think it was
soy milk, and then
soy milk, yeah. And then as soon as she's pouring, get out her cereal, like the Frosted Flakes kind of type of cereal, she's pouring that in there. All of a sudden, like the milk changes. It keeps going from like regular 1% or something like that to like almond milk or whatever. It was like all over the map, and she's just like, oh. She's like, what is going on with my abilities?
Yeah, so like she's basically losing her grasp on the hex, and on that milk carton, I don't know if there's any significance here, but there was a missing person on the the milk carton.
Yeah,
you saw that.
Yeah, I saw that too, like with the missing child or whatever on there, and I was like, is this gonna be an important character? And then they just kind of flashed it off like nothing, and I was like, oh well, interesting, but still, like the fact that it's on the carton,
yeah.
Like, oh, where that's gonna go? I have no idea.
With the way this show has been, I feel like every little thing is a breadcrumb. It feels like that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, they're definitely every little step, every little thing that they put in there has been just one little step to go on something bigger every time. And that's basically what they're trying to do with the show, is like they're just like every little detail. They're trying to make you think like, oh, what's going to happen here? How's that going to play into the next episode or later in this episode? It's it's pretty cool how they make you think that way. I'm like, yes, this is
Yeah.
mind games
So
controlled.
then we get like, yeah. So then we get like a musical intro to the WandaVision show, and it's basically a big play off of the Office music intro,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
really really cool.
Yeah, you're
And
right.
there's a
I
couple
was trying to
things,
think of
Oh yeah,
yeah, like
yeah. That's
I was trying to think about that. Yeah, like you're right. They were using The Office, and then what was the ah, what? Because every time she's talking to the camera, I was trying to think of that. There's been a bunch of shows, but I was trying to figure the best one for
yeah,
when she's talking to the camera. Same
like
thing with
mainly with her. It's like Modern Family and Parks and Rec does it also.
yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Yes, Modern Family and Parks and Recs. Yes, I was thinking that, and I was also I don't for some odd reason I I don't know if it's relevant to that or not, but it also made me think of Dora. Is it Dora or whatever from MTV? That animated cartoon. I was thinking about her because like she would always talk
Dora the
on
Explorer.
not
Yeah.
Explore, but the the adult one that was on MTV or whatever. Or, and she I remember like she would always like talk like to the audience, even though it was like an animated
Oh, Daria.
Daria. Yeah, there you go.
Daria. Yeah.
That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking of. Yeah, for some odd reason that
Yeah.
was like popping in my head.
Yeah. That's
So,
I didn't even think about that. You're right though. Yeah.
because I was like, I'm thinking like,
So
I know something's up with this, but I wasn't quite. You're right.
so a couple cool things in the Office montage intro. The license plate that they showed had the numbers. I forget how it goes, like 12, 28, 22, and that is the birthday to Stanley.
Oh, nice tribute.
I didn't catch that. I definitely saw that on the internet, but still, I thought that
Gotcha.
was a cool call out.
Yeah, I wouldn't I wouldn't have not have known the actual significance of the license plate, but I remember it now that you mentioned. I remember seeing it. But yeah, that's okay. That's very cool that for the tribute license for Stanley. That's awesome.
Yeah, it kind of made me wonder, like, if there was some other tributes to Stanley in other episodes that um, went missed, you know, that that I missed or other people missed.
There might have been. I That's a little bit iffy for me. I'm not 100% sure um what parts they would utilize for Stanley in this particular show right now. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
I wouldn't know at the moment.
yeah, that's a hard one to look for, because you basically have to scrutinize every little second, like I was saying, every little breadcrumb. Um,
Oh,
but there's another part in that little um, office montage where we see like kind of like um, the different colored letters and kind of like oh gosh, a ransom note letter. It's all made out of different letters and stuff, but it actually says, "I know what you are doing, Wanda."
oh
And
yeah,
I think I think that's a hint at who is actually controlling it. That it's not Wanda,
right.
and
Yep.
that's Agnes.
Yes. Or
Um,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then so we go back into the show, and Sword. I believe I took my notes really fast this time, because didn't get a chance to watch it as many times as I usually do before we started.
Well, actually,
But
before I think before Sword, I think doesn't it? If I remember correctly, doesn't it go with after she gets done eating the cereal, doing her little fourth wall talk, and then she sits down with the boys, I think first, and then she's like, she does kind of like a moment, and she's like, she cues it up. She's like, all right, here comes Agnes, because she kind of cues up the door, so Agnes comes in, um and then
that's after this. I do have that written down and stuff.
oh, so wait, so it does go to the sword part first?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We got the sword, and then even a little scene with Vision and Darcy. But
Right.
it's just a real quick scene. To establish that Sword has established a new base outside of the hex, and that they're planning on entering the hex. And I think that's all we really see of them.
Yeah, you're right, because they didn't really reveal anything other than that he just quickly contacted another sword part of the agency, and they quickly came out there, and then they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna do this," and then that was it. They didn't. Yeah, that's right. They didn't show any more for them doing anything yet. And then
Yeah, so
and
that's
then it goes
probably going to be a
into
heavy part of the next two episodes.
at least yes, I have to agree with that 100%. And then it's a cut to then and then it goes to the Monica and um the FBI agent, right? After Sword.
Nope, then it's Vision and Darcy.
Okay, then Vision
Yeah,
Darcy. Okay,
Vision
that's right.
waking up. Yep. And on this note, they introduce Darcy as the escape artist, and
Yeah.
I don't know if that's because she had handcuffs on whenever she got engulfed by the hex, or if that's a hint on how they're going to, or who is going to be a major part in getting everybody out of the hex.
That's true. Yeah, I could see her being the huge indicator of getting people out of there for sure. Yeah, I could see that. I could see Darcy being the now that once Vision opened up her mind again, that yeah, I think that she'll be the one that, like, all right, people, let's get out of here. Let's get them all the hex quickly. Yeah, I could definitely see that she'll be that huge advocate.
Yeah, and then we'll get more into that later, because I really do love the scenes with Darcy and Vision. They're really great.
Oh yeah, good stuff.
But
Yeah, that was good stuff.
but then we go to what you're saying. Wanda is talking with the kids. I forget which one. Just like twins, I get them mixed up. Billy or Tommy. One of them, I believe it was Billy.
I think it was Billy that was
Ask
talking.
Wanda, what was, Uncle Pietro talking about when he said, bringing Dad back to life again. And Wanda kind of loses it a little bit. She's unraveling. You can tell that she's unraveling during this episode, but um, she gets kind of on edge, and says, that is not your uncle. Don't believe anything he says. And then she goes into this thing where, she's like, I'm your mom. You expect me to have all the answers, but I do not have any of the answers. I don't know anything. And I kind of relate to that a little bit while watching the show. It's kind of meta in a way because like we're sitting there like, yeah, I don't have any of the answers either. And I wish I did.
Right. Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. I agree with her statement there, what she was telling her son that. And I was trying to think of the other not having any answers, but because like I think also, if I'm not mistaken, but Billy also asked about like if their dad's gonna be okay, and she's like, yeah, I think he'll be fine. He'll show up when he wants to show up, or something like that, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And let's see, and then roughly when all that stuff happens, then Agnes comes in and knocks on the door.
Yes.
She's like, yeah, come on in. And then that's where everything gets kind of more interesting from there on out.
Yeah, and it's so funny how like every time, this whole series, every time Wanda needed like some backup or a little bit of help, Agnes was always there, like on cue, just ready to pop on in.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, yep. That was
A couple of interesting things that she said. It's funny, when she says, oh, I don't bite, and then it cuts to her like little interview cut scene, and she's like, I did bite a kid once, which is funny with the reveal of her being Agatha Harkness being a witch, that old cliche that witches eat kids. It's just hilarious.
Yeah, I thought that was I thought that was great. And then I was shocked because then she's like, something about, oh, I have this mole on my back here. Can you take a look at it?
Yep,
And then
that
like everyone
also
just gets like
is
freaked
like,
out.
yeah, and that also is like supposed to be like the mark of a witch, or a mark of someone who is working with the devil.
Right. Yep. Oh, for sure. That was.
Did you catch anything else during that Agnes scene?
Let's see. Gosh, what was the other thing that she did? I'm trying to think right at top of my back. 'Cause I remember her talking to the kids. Like, oh, it's gonna be fine. I'll take you. You'll go to my place. And then she kept bringing up that mark. She's like, "What? But for sure, kids, you're gonna check my mark on my back or whatever." So she kept bringing that back up. And what was the other thing in that particular scene? I guess I'm having a little bit of a brain juggle. Let's see. Oh, and then I think she told Wanda like, everything's gonna be fine, or you just need to have time for yourself. You need to recuperate, basically, that kind of stuff. If I remember correctly, that was kind of basically it.
Yeah, she does
in that particular scene. So, that's the only things that I noticed. And then with Wanda still having everything just kind of fluctuating or getting even more messy in the house, and she's just like, oh, I don't know what's going on.
So then we jump to Monica and Agent Wu, where they talk about cataract, what cataract was, and it is, the sword was trying to like revive Vision, or like make a new Vision or something.
Yeah, basically the file was that they wanted Vision to be um, basically what they want him to be, like the war soldier Terminator kind of esque robot is the way I understood it. But yeah, that's what they were trying to do for Vision.
I kind of had a thought about this. So, Sword's this big program, big government program um, that is supposed to be, monitoring and defending against, sentient weapons or, possibly building sentient weapons. And I was trying to, I was thinking, I was like, what are some sentient weapons? Um, Vision could be considered a sentient weapon. Ultron was a sentient weapon. Um, but there's one specific I was thinking of, and it has everything to do with X-Men, and it's the Sentinel program. I was thinking maybe could this cataract program be the birth of the Sentinel program? This is out there. It's way out there.
It's possible. There's a possibility that it could be the Sentinel. Sure, I can see that. To definitely throw in more of the X-Men references, I think, yeah, for sure. I think they can definitely play that in there. At this point,
Yeah.
I mean, they need to do something. So I could see that being the huge possibility.
Yeah, I know it's a long shot, but I was just kind of thinking about that. You know, any grander ramifications of this program of trying to revive Vision and what its, future influences could be. And I thought of the Sentinels. Thinking of X-Men.
Yeah, I mean, it could go for that. Maybe it goes, and then or it can go still for Fantastic Four as well. It definitely could be, maybe something with whatever supposedly whatever Doctor Doom is planning. So maybe they want to be one step with him. Maybe I'm not 100% sure, but maybe something like whatever he's planning on doing, or whatever they want to be a step ahead, because if there's another Thanos type that's out there, they want to be a step ahead to going against the next threat.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was just a cool little thought I had. I'm not putting much into it, especially since like everything I seem to think just vanishes once the next episode comes up. But then we moving on in the episode. We get to the episode, the part where Vision wakes up Darcy, and leading up to that, their banter, like Darcy just keeps on thinking that Vision's trying to ask her out, and then she's finally like, okay, I'll go out on a date with you, but I'm buying the lobster. Their banter, and like she's just so hilarious. Like her timing is just perfect, and like them playing off of each other was just so well done, and that their whole time spent together was just hilarious.
Oh yeah, no, I totally agree. Yeah, everything that they, well, yeah, I like the part where they steal that truck and or the van, I should say, and as she's driving, he's just like constantly like, where are you going? Just go out of here. And she's just like making sure she doesn't run over everybody or anything like that. She's just constantly staying focused on the road well ahead of her. So it's kind of funny. Like she's not even like, she's not going through the 10th or anything like that. She's just like, I'm just stay on the road. I'm moving over here. Yeah, I thought that was great. Did I wanted to quickly note though, is that before that though, when Monica and the FBI agent, because then they go to because then they show their part of their base, right? And then they show the truck or the space truck or whatever they were going. I forget the actual name of the vehicle, but
I
that they're
think
going to bring in
that's a little bit later.
Was that a little bit later? Okay, I'm jumping around here, but
Yeah,
I just remember. Okay, about that kind of stuff.
you're
I was
good.
like, my brain is going all over the place about that. But yeah, that's the banter stuff. Yeah, that was great. I like that.
And
never
whenever
mind.
Vision wakes up, Darcy, sorry.
Yeah.
Whenever Vision wakes up, Darcy, she's like, she gets a hold of herself, and she's like, oh wow, I always imagined having a guest role on WandaVision, but that wasn't fun.
That's right. Because she's like, yeah, that's right. Because she was watching, she goes, I kind of wanted to be on it, but at the same time, yeah, this stinks. I don't want to be here.
Yeah,
that was great. I like that. Yeah, she was she's just great. Kat Denning playing Darcy is just she's great. I mean, she makes the show like going much more. Like she just gives more of that entertainment that because she's so sarcastic but at the same time she's smart and everything. It works. She just gives that great chemistry to the other characters. I like that.
I am not a very big fan of like modern day sitcoms, but like her show Two Broke Girls, I think is that what it's called?
Yes. Yep. It was Two Broke Girls. Yep.
That was running for a while. Yeah. Yep. It's very entertaining for the type of sitcom that it is.
And it was very dirty too.
And most of that has to do
with yeah, she was great in that show. She was great. And then roughly when she was doing that show, and then she did the first Thor movie. Yeah, I mean, playing two different characters like that too. I mean, going from the snarky waitress to the assistant of the scientist stuff that Natalie Portman was doing. There's such a difference, but I mean, yeah, she's still. It's great how she just talented that way. I'm just like, yes. Kat's just, man, she's doing really good for this. So I'm glad they're keeping her role. Yes, I agree. Yes, she's definitely the good parts of this Marvel universe right now, and I'm glad that she's a big part of it now. I think, she's definitely one of them that I'm rooting for. Just a little bit more over some of the other characters at the moment. I think she'll be definitely the one that I think she'll be the one that definitely will like bring in, like definitely help out the other part of the other characters in the universe, and I think that's going to be to me that's going to be awesome. I'm very excited for it.
Cool. So as we move along in the episode, we go back to Wanda, and everything is glitching out. She's basically losing her control over the hex, and I wrote down very little right here, but I know there's more. What happens here? I know something big happened here. Oh, she's talking about how everything's all glitching out, and like someone behind the camera asked her, do you think you deserve this, or do you think this is something you deserve or something?
Yeah.
And then she's like, you're not supposed to talk.
Yeah, that's right. I remember. Yeah, I remember that she said that.
And
And
we find out that that was Agnes that was asking that question. But I was thinking about that
don't.
question, do you think you deserve this or something? I feel like there's something there.
Yeah, it's see. But it was funny too because it whether it's supposed to be Agnes or not, though, that voice that part, because it is a guy's voice. If it, and I was like thinking to myself
Yeah.
when that scene was first happening, I'm thinking to myself, could that have been a manifesto for like a brief moment, like kind of messing with her brain for a second? Like I was wondering to myself because I was like, man, I wonder if that was a manifesto thing.
Yeah, I thought that also at first, but on the second watch through, um, I noticed during Agnes's like theme song, they show that scene and she's sitting behind the camera.
Right. But I don't know. It just seems like she could have been behind that, but I also feel like there was some like it's kind of a weird thing, but I almost felt like there was two things going on right there, though. For that particular
Right,
part, I felt like there's like something a little bit more than just
right,
having Egg do that.
yeah, definitely. Because someone said something that because we're getting this all through like a filter, and there is um, a trope in storytelling about oh, what's it called, a um, like a faulty narrator. So you're getting all of the information of the story from someone who's trying to manipulate the story and like what the actual events were. So we could be getting it through a filter of what like Agnes or whoever is in cahoots with Agnes, what they actually want us to see, especially when we're seeing it in the the box style and not the lettered reality that we've come to know with the show.
Right. Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, that's I definitely see that for sure.
Yeah, and then just like every other episode, whenever Wanda is like feeling like her most stressed in that episode, we get a commercial. And I thought this was probably like I think probably the biggest commercial as of yet, and it's for like Nexus, which is a drug. It's an antidepressant drug.
Right.
And like my first thought was like, because there is this theory out here that all of the commercials represent one of the one of the Infinity Stones. So going off of that,
Mm-hmm.
they say reality about 12 different times in this commercial. So I was thinking, this commercial could be the reality stone. But then
Yes.
Nexus is when you inside the MCU, Nexus was the internet hub that Tony Stark went to after Ultron had um, broke away from
Oh, that's
like his
right.
computer and gotten into his body. Um, So Nexus is where Jarvis went, and he broke it. After Ultron tried to attack him, that's where Jarvis broke himself up and went to try to hide himself from Ultron. So he went to the Nexus, and obviously Jarvis is eventually becomes Vision.
Right.
So that's an interesting connection.
Yeah, throughout that.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say throughout that whole commercial, like I was thinking about the Nexus, and I was like, what? I'm thinking about because they're talking about the like you're saying, the different realities, having all the antidepressants, and with Nexus always coming up, and I'm like, okay, I know it's an antidepressant. I was just really trying to think to myself, what are they trying to go with that? And then when you brought up the basically when Tony went over to Google, and I think it was like Norway or whatever, and he's like, all right, I found Jarvis. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, the Nexus, like your Google tablets, your Androids, basically.
Yeah. Yep.
And then the the idea of basically now putting that together, that definitely the idea of rebuilding Jarvis, basically, or I shouldn't say Jarvis, but Vision, of creating Vision off of Jarvis. Yeah, definitely. That's all right. That's the connection now. That's where I see that commercial from.
So there is also some other things, in the comic books. I did have to do a little bit of research. This isn't right off the top of my head or anything. I'm not a hold on, my mic's getting crazy. There we go. I definitely did some research. This is not off the top of my head or anything, but one of the lines struck me, because the world doesn't revolve around you, or does it? In the comics, the Nexus is actually a kind of gateway, to all of the multiple realities. It's kind of where all the multiple realities merge in at one place, and you can kind of get to all of them from there. And also, Wanda in the comic books is considered a Nexus being who acts kind of as an anchor for all of the multiverse. So she's consistent throughout all of the multiverses.
Okay, that makes sense. All right. Now, okay, I see. I see.
So,
now.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool that they brought up Nexus, because especially with its connections to multiverses.
Right. Definitely going to be the that's going to be the key factor moving forward for everything that's what Marvel is going to be doing for this new phase, is definitely getting this multiverse out there. So it's definitely opening up that door now. I mean, from this ad, they're basically telling you that the door is finally opening up.
Yeah,
it's finally come.
Yeah, and the fact that, like, it says, I think 2 different times in there, consult your doctor before using Nexus, and who also deals with some different dimensions, Doctor Strange.
That's right. Yep. The leading into his movie.
Yeah, I'm almost 100% now that I think we're going to see Doctor Strange show up at the end.
Oh, for sure. I agree. I think he will show up and definitely possibly be like, he'll probably look at this and he's like, what is this hex doing here? And he's probably the one that probably shuts it down. I'm gonna go on a limb on that.
I do think. Yeah, I agree with you there. I used to think it was going to be Charles Xavier, but I think they're saving that for the movie.
Yeah, that's possible. I mean, I think though, they might still. I still feel like that they'll still pop in. Like, I still feel like they're still going to pop in like the X-Men characters or something like that. I still feel like there's a chance we could see Charles. I mean, maybe. I mean, I understand we may not get able to see him right away, but I just have that feeling we could still see Charles at some point in this next few episodes. I mean, I'm kind of hoping, but we'll see.
Oh yeah, like I think I said it last week. I don't think that nothing's off the table. I think anything is still possible at this point.
Yep, I agree.
Did you have any other thoughts on the commercial?
No, I think just kind of what we were just discussing. I think that pretty much solved it for me. I mean, unless I'm missing something, but I felt like that we pretty much covered it pretty good on that one.
Okay, so moving on in the episode, this is where it starts getting creepy. We are inside Agnes's house with the twins, and I thought what the biggest takeaway from this part was, Billy likes it there. He's the one that kind of has the Scarlet Witch type powers. He can read minds, and one of the reasons why he likes it here is because it's quiet there, and that Agnes is quiet on the inside. And I thought that was really creepy. I think it's most likely, to do with that she's a very powerful witch and she can probably shield her thoughts from other people with powers. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I think there's a lot of there's a lot of things that were going on with that particular scene when he says that to her, because then she's quiet, and then I think at one point she was looking at him like, what do you mean? But it was definitely like the scene where it was like, she's definitely she's shielding, but I also think that she's just very good at not showing her true self, and I think that's was definitely like the little hint that Billy was kind of given to the audience in a sense.
Yeah, it was another one of those breadcrumbs.
Yeah, one of the breadcrumb moments for sure. And I think if I remember correctly, Tommy was just like, "Oh, I don't like this" or whatever. He's just eating the sandwich. Like, he's just like he's like the one that was like really feeling the uncomfortability.
Yeah, it like it's I don't know if it's like because Billy kind of has like a psychic connection with his mom, and like or like he kind of knows that she's at least physically safe, but like Tommy seems to be the one that's always like wondering if Wanda's okay or not,
Right. No, for sure. I definitely yeah, there's definitely a lot of the connections with how the twins are feeling for their mom's role. Um, it yeah, Billy definitely has um, the psychic or premonition ability to kind of see what's going on, and he wants to make sure that she's okay. And Tommy's just like flat out like, well, what's going on, and trying to figure it all out. But yeah,
Yeah.
they're definitely figure out everything with their mom, and then on top of that, I think there was a little bit of like trying to figure out a little bit with Agnes too. Like there's a little bit of like, yeah, what's up with her right now?
Right. Yeah. So moving along in the episode, next we get Monica and Jimmy are finally meeting the the people or the so okay so one of the things that that I was thinking is that this aerospace engineer was going to be Reed Richards, and we definitely did not get to see Reed Richards this week.
Right.
But I'm not sure that he's off the table yet, because we meet this general who, it does seem that she definitely knows Monica.
Right.
And she definitely knew her mom.
Yep.
But one thing that she said is that, oh gosh, I didn't write it down, but what did she say? She said, like, we are still loyal to you also, not just her mom,
Right. Yes.
So
Yep.
I think the key word there is we, like not just me, not just I am still loyal to you. We are still loyal to you. And I also do find it interesting that these are people that are working within Sword. So
Right. There's basically a conflict between um like who their loyalties are going to be with, whether their loyalties are going to be with Monica or with director Charles.
yeah.
Yeah, there's
And so
definitely a
they got
divide.
this, this pretty badass looking like space rover that they're going to drive through the
Mm-hmm.
the barrier, and and they fail. It fails. It's pretty intense scene too. Um, I really like that scene. There were some really cool shots, like with the reflection off of her helmet of like all the lights from the barrier when she rams it, um, and then just it getting tossed out like it was nothing. It was just a really intense and well played out scene.
If well, yeah, I definitely enjoyed the scene, but I had a question on that. Was that supposed to be from like that vehicle? Was that supposed to be like a reference from Fantastic Four? Like, was that supposed to be? I almost felt like that was something like Reed or Von Doom or something like that would make.
Yeah. See, that's I don't know if there's a specific reference. Um, I didn't catch one. Um, I do know every time I see that sword symbol, the first thing I think of is, I don't know if you're a Fallout fan, but the first thing I think of is the Brotherhood of Steel. And I can't get it out of my mind. Every time I see the sword symbol, I think I think of Fallout, and I think of my favorite faction, the Brotherhood of Steel, and I'm like, no, wait, this is Marvel.
Yeah, I definitely, yeah, I can see that from the Fallout video games. But no, I just
Sorry.
for some odd reason I just thought like because like when she's in the vehicle, when she's driving it and ramming it into the hex, I just like the way she escapes and stuff, like from like the way she's trying to escape from the the um the driving part of the pod or whatever you want to call it, from the vehicle. For some odd reason it just reminded me of something from Fantastic Four, whether it's a reference to any of the movies or not. But I just thought for some odd reason I'm just like, man,
Oh,
I feel like yeah, I just felt like somebody made this, like whether it was Reed or Doom or somebody that, and I don't know,
yeah.
I thought
I'm
it was
still
kind of
holding on to that thought.
yeah, because
I'm still holding on to that thought that it's that aerospace engineer, because that lady that we met, she's like a general. She seems more of like a an outpost commander, something like that. She didn't give off aerospace engineer vibes to me. Maybe she did to other people. She didn't to me. So I still think that um, this aerospace engineer is still out there, off scene, off camera,
mhm.
and that we still have a possibility of meeting them. But I do think he sent them.
Oh, for sure, yeah, yeah, no, I think, oh yeah, just to get, yeah, make sure they have the help that they need. Um, unless I'm thinking, or less what's his name? Um, the character, the scroll, that uh
Yeah,
was alive, um, with Captain Marvel. Like, unless he's the one that's having them build all these things and helping them out that way too. I'm not 100% sure, but he could be still be the
that's definitely true too.
so we got that. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, no, I like you were saying before too. Like, I mean, yeah, the her ramming um the vehicle into the hex, and then she's having a heck of a time, and it's Ray changing the vehicle. She has to quickly get out of there. Um, intense scene, and she managed to get out. The big vehicle turns into a, well, almost was turning itself into an old like 70s or 80s kind of a Chevy truck or something there. Um, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
yeah, and that's when we get the moment too, where she's going back and then this is going to be a cool scene. I think was when she does return to the hex, even though everyone's telling her not to, but she's like, I can do it," and she goes into the hex. I thought it was very very cool. I thought what they were kind of bringing into that.
yeah. Her Monica going through the hex barrier was I. It was very beautiful. Like I don't know if it was like the barrier trying to change her, um, like it does everything else, but like all of her like she was splitting apart almost, and I I I wonder if all those Monicas that were like trying to like split off from her or dragging off of her or whatever it was, if they were like different versions of her from different realities.
I guess what I felt from that scene when we were seeing the different Monicas like that, I was thinking of it as when she was in the WandaVision, when she was actually in it, because like you could see like the other characters that she was
Right.
portraying as, and you're seeing all of that.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I
No,
thought
I
I
was
had
like,
seen. Sorry. I thought I had seen the outfit that she got tossed out of in, but I couldn't. It looked kind of different to me. So yeah, but yeah, I see that.
yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Like the idea was, I thought they were showing like different um other parts that she was in, but yeah, they definitely could be also other realities as well. But the way I took it was those were the characters that she was portraying herself in the WandaVision um part. But I also noticed something else very, very cool about that. While she's fighting the Hex's ability, and she starts becoming one with those characters, and her eyes like change to blue. She's starting to um she's starting to formulate her true powers. But also, what I thought was a couple things to be noticeable here. They started playing the Captain Marvel clips when she was a young girl,
Yep.
and Captain Marvel was talking to her. I thought that was interesting. Like, I thought that was like, okay, so they're definitely getting that connection going. And um also, like, I don't know how you felt, but like the score that they were playing, it almost felt like a kind of a Superman kind of a score.
Yeah.
For some odd reason.
Yeah. Oh
Like, it
yeah.
was screaming, it was kind of a screaming, like a nice little Superman mix there. I was like, man, they're really putting her into this um Superman kind of vibe. Even though I will say this, I think I'm definitely enjoying Monica's character. I gotta say, she has a lot more. Um, she just has a more of a real. I want to say relatability to people. I think a little bit, and that's what I like about her. Like, even though even though you're starting to see now that she's getting powerful, but at the same time, she's also trying to be like fair and what do you call it? Like, she's working with people. She's not like overly um like
Yeah.
telling.
Yeah. Well, yeah. First off, she wants to help Wanda when, like, her boss obviously does not want to help Wanda.
Right.
And like you're saying, she's not doing it by herself. She's has had Darcy and Jimmy by her side the whole time.
Right. Yep. Yeah, so she's but I mean, like, that's what I like about her character right now, is that she's working with all these other characters, even though like now we're starting to see that she's got these strong super ability, like kind of Superman-ish powers now. And I'm just liking the fact, like, she's got this, like, yeah, I got the supernatural abilities, but at the same time, it's like she's good at working with the team. And I guess in some
Yeah.
weird way,
Yeah.
I really like that's her character, like, that she gives a crap, that she's like, all right, um I'm gonna do this, and I will I know, I think I can help pretty strongly. And yeah, so once she gets out of there and we hear a little bit of the Superman kind of esque theme, and then when she gets to the to the house, and her and the confrontation between her and Wanda. I don't know. I just really like that scene where she was, Wanda sees her powers, but at the same time, it's there's some deflecting. There's some, like she wants to like shove her back out, but she realizes a little bit too that like Monica is definitely there to help her now. Like she sees it now a little bit,
Yeah, definitely towards the end, but I did think it was interesting. Monica is obviously able to kind of deflect some of Wanda's powers, and use her own powers to stop Wanda from, like, I guess, slamming her into the ground. But yeah, by the end of that scene, after Monica kind of has a little speech moment where she's talking about the loss of her mom, trying to connect with Wanda, because they're both grieving at the time. She's connecting with Wanda, and I think she's really close to pulling her over to her side, I guess, kind of in a way, or more of, Wanda opening Wanda's eyes that this all needs to end.
Right.
But then as always, cue Agnes.
Right. Yeah, so then she gets out of there, and then so she goes over to Agnes's place, and then she's like sitting there to have a conversation, and then she realizes too, like when she's looking at the sandwiches and stuff, and she's looking at all the like the bugs and everything around the room, and then she realizes, she's like, where are the boys? And then she's like, oh, they're playing in the basement.
Yeah, like,
oh my God.
And the way she says that too, it's like, no, wait a minute. Like, if you've ever seen any horror movie, like, you don't just like say like they're in the basement. Like, and then you especially don't just be like, go check out the creepy ass basement in the creepy lady's house with the flies on the wall. Like, that one single, like, I don't know if it was a big fly or if it was a locust or a moth or whatever it is, but like all of those things have to do with like witchcraft and like death, or the devil, so yeah, no, but then she goes down into the basement.
Right. Well, yeah, she wants to make sure that her kids are fine, so she's going down there. And also, I mean, there are some pretty cool creepy effects when she's going down there. Like, you see the vines, you see a lot of, like, I think there was like cobwebs and stuff like that. So I mean, they were definitely putting in a lot of the horror film tropes in there, and a lot of which I appreciated that. I thought that was pretty cool. That was pretty interesting.
Oh yeah,
putting all that stuff in there. And then that's when Agnes truly reveals herself.
You didn't think you were the only magical girl in town, did you?
Yep. And then she reveals her name, and then it kind of shows a little bit of what was going behind the scenes. And I thought that was really cool. But I also like the part too, right at the end, she's like, oh yeah, and right before they roll the credits, she goes, oh yeah, by the way, I was the one that killed the dog.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my goodness.
Uh,
Oh man.
and I
But
just,
also,
you know, it just goes to, you know, the great writing of this show that
yep.
they absolutely knew that everybody was going to be speculating on who actually killed Sparky, and they had to know the know withal to add that last little cut scene, and I killed
Yes.
Sparky too, which is just great. And
Yes.
her laugh is freaking on point. Like that is a witch's laugh right there. Like
Oh yeah,
they
yeah.
cast her perfect.
Yes. Yeah. She's, and the funny thing is too, she's every single movie that she's ever done has been comedies. I don't think I've seen her done
Yeah.
a real
Yep.
serious role before. So for her to be to doing all what she's been doing in the show has been fantastic. I mean, I have to give it to her that she's really pulled. Not just, I mean, because we know that she's done comedy chops. So the comedy chops for her was a bit easy, but for her to pull the serious moments, I was like, kudos, because I
Yeah.
thought, man, she did a really good job. I really did. Um,
Oh yeah. I agree wholeheartedly.
um, before, and then I was going to say something too. I didn't get a chance to with the as I'm thinking about it. Um, so once when Wanda was down there looking for her kids, and then Agnes reveals who she was, my one question was, where are the kids at this moment? Where are the two boys?
Yeah.
You know, I was like,
Yeah.
did you know? I'm thinking to myself, oh boy, did because you know that joke when she said in the early part, I'm like, did she eat the boys? Or did she like just completely, you know what I mean? Because like that thought process went in my mind. I'm like, oh my god, I hope she didn't. But I was like,
Yeah.
I'm like, there's that thought process for a moment, like, oh boy. And then I don't know. Then I also thought, then I'm also thinking, man, she's got to be putting people in another dimension or something like that. Like she's obviously putting them somewhere. You know, like she's
Right.
she had to like throw. I'm like, I'm gonna put you somewhere right here, and I'll you know wish you out of here for the moment. So I'm just thinking, man, she's just a clever villain
Yeah.
that's just like I'm yeah, hiding all this stuff. And also before that, even that, I noticed something too. Did you notice like the Emma Caulfield? She had a little cameo. Couple of the characters had little cameos, like the
Yeah. Yep.
mailman, and then she's like over there, like
Yeah. And
hitting her
that
vines and stuff.
mailman, that mailman, that mailman still looks suspicious to me.
Yeah, yeah, me too. Um, a couple other people were telling. I was listening to some other people's streams, and they think that he might be a scroll. Everyone thinks that he might be a scroll character. And I was thinking to myself, like that is
Right.
plausible
And
as well.
he's just kind of watching stuff.
Yeah, like he's just kind of letting it unfold, and if it gets too dangerous, maybe he'll pull something out. I mean, I think like he could be the character that could be helping hand, or he could still be the character that's also helping Agnes. So it's either
Right.
or, but uh, it's possible though. I think he might be the person that's going to help Wanda as well. I think, but I'm not. Right now, we don't really know, so that's not 100%. But yeah, we'll
Right.
see. We'll have to see. Um, I'm trying
You
to
know,
think.
okay, so we did miss one scene. We did miss one
Yep.
scene before
Yep.
the Agnes scene, and that is where Darcy and Vision are
Yep.
um trying to make it to, you know, the WandaVision house, and they are, you know, coming across um all these
Red lights.
roadblocks,
Yep.
and yeah, red light in the middle of nowhere. But the cool thing about this scene, I thought, was Darcy explaining Vision's death to Vision,
Yeah.
which was
Yeah.
really cool, and it was kind of sad because at the end of it, you kind of almost see Vision kind of accepting that he might not make it out of this alive.
Yeah, there's definitely that, but I also felt possibly he's gonna see himself as something that he might not be who he thinks he is either. Like maybe there's some different part of himself, like maybe he's not completely himself, like maybe he's got like another, like for example, maybe the real Jarvis is in him now, or maybe like he's got like a different,
Or maybe there's parts of
dome.
Jarvis that are missing.
Right. So something there was like, to me, it was like, yeah, he accepts something about like possibly not making it, but there was something else, like he was like, all right, I gotta find myself on this particular part, and then he leaves Darcy with the whole roadblock situation, and it's like, yeah, where is Vision going? Because we're like, we don't even know where he went at this point, because they definitely didn't show it yet. So that's definitely an interesting way to leave for Vision's story. Yeah, I think that's
that's going to be a big part of next episode.
Absolutely,
because Wanda's in the basement, Vision's, most likely looking for Wanda to figure things out. And man, these next episodes are going to be they're going to be good.
Oh, for sure, especially with the special end after credit scene when Monica's going to Agnes's house, and she opens up the basement, the outside the house basement doors, and then all of a sudden we see Pedro grabbing her, like not so fast, or like
Snooper's gonna snoop.
Yeah, Snooper's gonna snoop, yeah. And it's like, ooh, all right, so what's going on here now?
Yeah, so for me, that still leaves the door open for Pietro being Fox's universe.
Oh, yes.
Quicksilver or Mephisto.
Right. And we also got a chance to see before that, when they were on revealing his character, is that she brought him back. Like she brought him into this dimension. Because that was that question where Wanda's like, I didn't bring him here. And then we finally see in that Agnes actually was the one that did it. So that's even more of the interesting part, is like, yeah, is he working for her, or is he trying to figure things out as well? That's going to be leading into the next.
So I do have a couple things about Agnes's creepy basement.
All right.
So like you were saying, really, really cool effects with like all of the vines and stuff growing on the walls and stuff. But we do get this shot when she comes in to the center of the basement, kind of pans up to the ceiling, and it looks like there's some type of like gazebo type stone shape, and from the angles of the sides that we see, it almost looks like it is a hexagon shape, which is the shape that's been showing up throughout the whole series. It's the shape of the hex itself. Um,
Right.
and there's some symbols in it. I have no clue what the symbols mean, but the symbols are inside of hexagons. So there's a lot of hexagons going on in this basement. Um, and my kind of thought on that is, speaking of the commercial that we saw this episode, and speaking of the Nexus, um, and thinking possibly Agnes's basement is where the hex originated in the first place. That Agnes's basement could be the Nexus. It could be that merging spot of all of the multiverses.
Right. Definitely. Definitely could be that. Definitely the spot. And um yeah, so it brings into the question like um how Wanda and her both created this. 'Cause like obviously to me it's like when I'm still thinking when Wanda brings over Vision and she's repairing him, and somehow maybe she's creating this, she was maybe creating the hex, and then somehow Agnes spots her, and then basically forms the hex with her, or like basically corrupts it or something like that, I think, and then it just takes over like Wanda's brain a little bit, where that's why she's like can't remember or anything like that. Because I mean, Agnes is um kind of like gave her amnesia or whatever from it.
Yeah, and I think we are most definitely going to get another flashback scene, and I think it's going to be focused around Agatha and
Mhm.
Wanda and how it all started. I almost think I I don't really want to get the explanation of how everything started in like exposition. I don't want it to be told to me. I kind of want to see it, even if it has to be a flashback. Um, I
Oh
kind
yeah,
of want
for
to see
sure.
it. I don't want Agatha just to do like
The
the
speaking
the
part, and then
trope
that's it.
cliche villain. And this was my master plan as I rattle on, and all of the superheroes are teaming up, and they're going to tackle me any minute now.
Yeah, I don't think they'll do that. At least I hope they don't do that. Um, but yeah, I think though they're definitely gonna have a flashback between her and Wanda and Vision. How the whole hex uh begins, and I am hoping that they finally reveal them, because I gotta believe at this point they're gonna reveal Manifesto in the next episode as well, because she keeps talking about her husband, Ignis has, and so it's like I
Yeah,
think they're finally gonna reveal him as well at some point. I gotta believe that in
yeah,
the next
and
episode as well.
that that kind of leads into the second thing that was in the basement, and that is that creepy looking book with
Mm-hmm.
the
Yep.
glowing red book.
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
And
It's
every witch or every coven has a book, or every
yep.
sorcerer, they all have books. There was a lot of
Right.
books in Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah.
and and actually that's like either after we get done with this or probably tomorrow morning when I wake up, I'm actually going to rewatch Doctor Strange because I feel like there might be something with this book that might be in Doctor Strange. So, one of the, books that was in Doctor Strange was the book of Cagliostro or whatever, which was able to open to the dark dimension to bring, oh gosh, what's his name from Doctor Strange? What's the bad guy's name in Doctor Strange?
Oh, I just remember.
But anyways,
I can remember his face, but I can't think of the name. No, the name's not coming. The name's a blank for me, but I remember the face of the character. That was about it.
Yeah, but this book is what was able to bring him from the dark dimension, another dimension.
Right. Oh, that's
so
that what's his name stole. That was
yeah, yep, yeah.
The villain from James Bond. Mads.
Yeah,
Mads. He's the one that steals the book, and then he brings forward brings forward the ultimate evil being, whatever his name was, and then that's right, they have that connection.
Yeah,
that's right. So you think maybe
so in Doctor Strange, yeah, and
nice.
My girlfriend was telling me something that she saw on the internet about, I guess there's this scene in Doctor Strange where they're looking where all the books were, and there's one of them missing. But I was like, didn't that guy say that they stole one? But it's freaking crazy. You look at this picture, and I wish I had it like tabbed up or something where I could bring it up. I need to start doing that, like getting some like visuals or something. I need a new computer though, but I'll stop rambling there. But anyways, in this picture, you can find it on the internet, where the books sit in the wall. They're freaking hexagons.
Right.
In Doctor Strange 1, the books, they sit in the stone wall, and like each book has a hexagon that it sits in. And some other videos that I've watched have pointed out that in what is it, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, when they're skipping across the galaxy, whenever they pop in and out of like light speed, it's little hexagons that open up.
That's right. Yeah.
So hexagons are like everywhere, and it's crazy. And I hope we learn more about them. I believe we will, whether it's in the last 2 episodes or even Doctor Strange. But talking about this book, there is another book it could be, and that it is a book called The Darkhold. And The Darkhold was a book created by this god character called Sitchin, who he actually has some connections to Wanda's origin in the comic books. But anyways, he created this book for a way to make a gateway from his dimension to Earth. So basically a book that was created to have this demon god guy have a way to Earth. So I'm just sitting here thinking, like, the way Marvel does a lot of the things, with their movies and stuff, they don't necessarily, they don't copy and paste straight from the comic books. So it's not going to be exactly the same. So my kind of working theory, and it changes week to week because the show drops, little things, and then we learn things, and then theories go out the window. But like I'm leaning hard into the Mephisto thing. Mephisto, I think it could be a combination of Mephisto, this Sithon character, um, maybe even a little bit of Nightmare and Grim Reaper, all kind of rolled into one. And and Mephisto is using Agatha, who in turn is actually using Wanda's power to power this book that's going to open a gateway for this bigger bad to come into um the earth realm, I guess, dimension.
Right. Definitely. Yeah.
Because if you remember, that book was kind of glowing with Wanda's signature magic.
Right.
And I'll let you respond there.
No, I definitely agree with everything that you're saying on this. I think that they're definitely going to open up the book is definitely going to reveal that they're going to bring in some more of the other demons that. So I'm sure Manifesto is trying to bring in some more of his other the other demons characters, so that they can obviously rule the universe, and then I guess that would probably open up the door for Doctor Strange to come in and say, hey, that something's not right here. So he's going to have to go off against these guys, and then kind of get us more ready for the Doctor Strange sequel. And I definitely can see that's going to be a lot of interesting stuff, like a lot of different characters. So, I mean, he's probably not, he's not facing off just one of these guys. It's going to be multiple of these characters that you're mentioning. And my only other question is too, like my question is, because the end of Doctor Strange, the what was he, like the friend or the apprentice? He went to the other side, so I'm wondering if he's going to be in the second one as well, where he, if he's going to be joining these other characters to go against him, going against Doctor Strange. I mean,
or I almost wonder, maybe it's not even, maybe that bad guy is coming back through this gateway. Maybe that's the guy that's trying to make it back.
That's possible. Yeah, I definitely could see that. Because they left him open from the ending credits of the first movie, and so I'm like, because they got to talk about his character, because he was definitely going to be. They were setting him up to be the one of the bad guys for Strange, so I feel like there's going to be a lot of things that's going to be going on in this next next event for Strange. So that's also opening up this door through Wanda and Vision right now. And man, there's going to be so much of the stuff that's going to open up.
Yeah,
and it's just I can't wait.
Then I had heard rumors about episode 7, 8, and 9 being an hour long. I forgot to check the time, but I know it definitely wasn't an hour long.
Yeah, I think it was like.
I really hope these next two episodes are.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. If that's going to be the case, especially now with the curtain being revealed at the end of this episode, I'm hopefully episode 8 and 9 really buckle down and really give us the audience a little more, like give us more of the what's going on, but also just the action sequences that are building up and the um and then like I guess the big bad's going against everybody here, so it's definitely
Yeah.
episode 8 is definitely going to be the big. I guess I'm going to say episode 8 is probably going to be the big one where it's going to be the real start of the big battles that's going to happen, and then whatever happens with that episode 9, I'm guessing would probably be like the demise of the Hex, maybe, or unless the Hex somehow um infiltrates Earth, like maybe it takes over the whole part of Earth.
Yeah.
Well, we have to see, but yeah, there's something's going to have to be really giving now in these next 2 episodes. But I think episode 8 is definitely going to give us more of a bigger clash. Like there's going to be
Yeah,
multiple.
that I do believe we're finished with the sitcom trope. I think that's over with. We're basically in the modern era of sitcoms. Modern Family like just ended like I think a year ago or 2 years ago. So we're kind of caught up on all the sitcoms. So I don't think they really could do anything more with the sitcom, um, thing.
Right.
So I think it's just going to be all out action from here on out. I'm really hoping it's closer to an hour, though, because I do really feel like there's a lot of questions that still need to be resolved.
Right. And I'm hoping for an hour too. Yeah, for the questions, but also, I mean, if they're going to go in with a big battle, I mean, it would be really sucky if it's only going to be like 30 minutes for like a little bit of a battle that gets cut down, so much. It's like, they're just, they have to give us an hour. They at least have to give an hour for everything. For these next 2 episodes, they just have to. I mean, yeah, that would be really really bad to be like, oh, only 30 minutes to watch a couple guys going to the battlefield and that's it. And to be like,
Yeah.
we want more.
So I did write down some questions that kind of are lingering after this episode. So how is Sword, at least director Hayward's faction, how are they going to enter the Hex after seeing Monica and her faction of Sword, basically, epically failing to pierce the barrier with their like space rover.
Right. Yeah, they're probably going to have to do something. They're going to have to do something huge. They're going to have to.
I almost wonder if we're going to see some type of like miniature Vision prototypes or something.
That'd be interesting. Or maybe I was thinking like maybe they got prototypes of Ultron.
Yeah.
As well. That'll be a little more interesting. Like all of a sudden, like, wait, we're seeing like all these different Ultrons going into the Hex, and then taking care of the idea is like trying to go out, try to get Vision out of there with and maybe that will also jog up his memory, especially if he sees like an Ultron looking machine, maybe they'll like
Yeah.
oh crap, like blast from the past, that kind of a thing. Or unless they really do something more interesting, like unless they somehow unless they bring in like some of the Iron Man um designs as well too.
Tech. Yeah.
So there could be a lot of different I can see a lot of different elements going into the um for them to go into the hex like that. I mean, 'cause they gotta do
So
something.
another question I had was, we kind of hit on it already, but is the aerospace engineer um, still off screen, still someone we haven't met yet? I believe so. I don't know if we'll actually ever meet him. I don't know, but I think he's still there, and I still think it's Reed Richards. I'm gonna die on that hill.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, we could definitely see any of those characters, but I think the big one that's definitely for sure upcoming will be uh, Doctor Strange. He's definitely going to be the one at this point that's going to have to really um, definitely help out to see what's going on with this hex. So I think that's where it's going to be him, like, oh, who's messing with my magic here. So he's definitely going to be the one that's going to go in there um, at this point.
Yeah,
But
I 100% agree.
and yeah, yeah. But other than that too, I mean, yeah, anybody in the science part of it, definitely could be Reed. It could be I'm just trying to think of somebody else on top of my mind. Or I've been wondering too, and I know this is a little bit off the, not necessarily for the astral space part, but like um what I was going to ask was like, are we ever going to see Nick Fury again either? From Shield, because I was wondering myself, like, I wonder if he's going to make himself a little cameo um down the line, because like just to kind of see what Sword's doing,
Yeah,
and it kind of makes me wonder because
because
it's
I
like
still feel like Sword. I still feel like Sword is a little offshoot of Shield still.
right, and yeah, I'm just like kind of curious, like if there's going to be conflict between Fury and um what what the Sword's doing. So I'm kind of curious if we'll see Shield at one point coming up as well, maybe to help out with the battle that will be coming up. So I'm kind of hoping um, that happens, so that we get a chance to kind of get some more what's going on with them as well, just to kind of see. But yeah, that's up in the air.
Yeah, yeah. I would like to kind of one of thinking about that, kind of one of my dislikes, I guess you could say, of Agents of Shield was kind of how it felt separate. Like you never got even like an appearance of even like the one Shield agent who was from How I Met Your Mother. I can't remember what the actress's name is,
Oh,
but
Kobe Smulders.
she was a reoccurring role. Is
Yeah,
that her name?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I know her.
Um,
I know her actor name. I just can't think of her Shield name at the moment.
yeah. So yeah, she was in a lot of the Avenger movies,
Hmm.
and we never saw her in Agents of Shield. Never saw Nick Fury. never saw any of the Avengers or anything, so there was this like major disconnect, um and I really think, you know like you're saying, I think we need like something from like Shield or Nick Fury or one of the Avengers, or something, to kind of, you know it kind of, I guess, make the make it feel fuller, I guess, instead of so isolated. Like I realize definitely probably writer's choice is, you know, that this is kind of an isolated story in many different fashions, because it is like an isolated hex, Um, but I think, even, even when we see Doctor Strange, I think that's going to kind of fix that for me. So, but yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. I guess that I agree with you. I think we probably should see something from Shield or Nick Fury.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, because like, yeah, it just feels like there's something a little bit off. It's like I feel like there's got to be something where Nick's like, we gotta take care of the situation here. And I kind of want to see if that's going to be revealed where like Nick and everybody from Shield's not really liking Sword because they think maybe Sword is a little bit off kilter or not doing their job uh, correctly. Um, but yeah, I mean, we'll see what all happens here. But yeah, it'd be really. I just think it'd be really cool that if Nick Fury shows up and there's a lot of a lot of conflict between them. So I think that'd be uh,
Yeah.
brings more fuel to the fire to that as well. But yeah, I think right now, as far as the supernatural elements, um, yeah, Stephen Strange will be he's going to be the high end person to take care of the situation. But I'm still a little bit like hoping somehow Agnes or Manifesto or any of them brings in a little bit more of the X-Men characters, and I'm hoping down the line that we do get to see Magneto, and hopefully, and then have the conflict uh, between like uh, how like what am I trying to say with this, like so they bring in Magneto, and then him going after Sword or and having a conflict between him and his daughter with Wanda, and then the maybe him fighting, maybe he'll be the one fighting Agnes, too, maybe something like that. But yeah, I'm just hoping that that they also bring in Magneto. I'm waiting to see if they'll bring him in, like it's the next kind of character to kind of start like
I
a big
think it
bad
would
thing.
be it would be a great teaser for Doctor Strange 2. So, I mean, it's kind
Yeah.
of, in
Yeah.
Marvel's playbook that,
Yeah.
you know, the the content that we have right now is going to um, end with a basically a setup for the next movie, or a setup for a bigger bad that's going to prevail over the next phases of the MCU.
Right. Oh, for sure. Hands down on
So
that.
yeah, I think if we do see an X-Men, it's gonna be kind of like that. I think it's gonna be um, I think if we do see X-Men, whether it be Magneto or Professor X or both of them, I think it's in between those two. I don't understand any reason why we would see like Wolverine or anybody else. Um, but if we see one of them two or both, I do think it's going to be like an after credit scene of
Right.
the final episode. You know,
Definitely.
and it'll be
I
like a
definitely
tag
can
and
see
be
that.
like it'd be it's and that would be a huge hype creator for any upcoming Marvel
Right.
movies or other shows.
Yep. For
And
sure. I
another question I had, like another question I had was, do you think either of or any of the future Disney Plus episodes are going to have any connection with WandaVision, or do you think WandaVision is just like a preliminary to Doctor Strange 2 and that's it? Or do you think we'll have any lingering effects into Falcon and the Winter Soldier or even Loki? Or um, I doubt it, but the She-Hulk, because I still think that's a little ways off.
well, kind of what I've heard, and I mean, it's only rumored or stuff like this, but I've heard like in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, they're talking that somehow Wolverine is supposed to show up. And if that's the case, um, it's possible that in my mind they're gonna have to bring in X-Men characters um throughout every single spinoff as well. Like through or like have some kind of reveal or something like that in every spinoff. So I do think that they're all gonna be having a huge connection. And I do think that um
To
like that's where the series are
yeah,
gonna be.
I
Yeah,
see
the
where.
series are definitely going that way. So I do feel like yeah, there's gonna be connections throughout this
I
throughout
think
these series.
I, I might be wrong, but I believe the connection with Wolverine is with a place. I think it's I forget how to pronounce it or how it's spelled. I think it's Madripoor or Madripoor. I think it's Madripoor, but it's one of the it's one of the first places that we get introduced to Wolverine.
Um, okay,
Madripoor. Yep.
Magipore. Okay, that sounds about right. Like when we were saying that, I was like, I'm thinking about it. Like I think, yeah, okay, and that's like that's the is that supposed to be like the
It
home?
has like some hard connections to Wolverine. I forget what all they are, but he spends a lot of time there in the comic books.
Okay. I see what you're saying. All right, I got you now. That's like I was trying to think. Okay, because like what I'm hoping for too is if they have any flashbacks in Winter Soldier and the well Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I should say. And if they do bring in Wolverine, I hope they have a flashback scene with him and Captain America fighting in World War II,
Oh
doing
yeah,
the going after Red Skull like that. That would be my little like fun little fun action sequence, and just that's something I really wanted to see, because that was the one thing. Also, when you watch Captain America, and then when you also watch X-Men Origins Wolverine, they you see them both fight. I mean, both of them fighting in World War II, but you don't actually see them fighting together. And so that'd be kind of cool if there was a flashback scene and we actually see Wolverine and Captain America fighting together, and during the World War II event. I would be down for
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Same. Yep.
that. So that's why I'm hoping when they do all these things, I'm hoping that we get the chance to finally see a lot of these cool strong visuals like that into play, and just trying to think what else. And then I mean, I guess like any other. I mean, there's got to be some. The way I feel too, there's got to be some more other characters showing up on WandaVision that I feel that we haven't really completely discussed it yet. I gotta feel like there's somebody from some of those other spin-offs, like Legion or The Gifted. There could be some more characters that could potentially show up. I feel like there could be any other set of characters that that we haven't discussed or thought about that maybe could come into play for the next few episodes, and kind of give us a little more of a shocker value into it, like where it's like,
Yeah.
wow, I didn't see this character coming through, and I'm like, that was what I'm kind of getting myself more excited for too, because I don't really know, I just feel like that we know what we're expected to see that's coming next, but I just feel there's got to be something else that that we haven't seen yet, and I'm excited to see if they'll bring in some other characters into play from that. Like from X-Men or The Gifted or something like that. They'll kind of throw us a little bit of a crumb there to like finally reveal this out. Gosh, I'm just trying to think.
I wonder if they're going to keep the New Mutants. Have you seen that movie, by the way?
I see. I did not. I've heard a lot of people talk about it a little bit. I know it was on Hulu. I thought about watching it just to kind of see it. I just haven't got a chance to yet, but
I haven't either.
Okay, because I was hoping kind of good things from the New Mutants because it looked kind of interesting to me. But also I've heard like the people who did see it said it wasn't. I guess it wasn't that great or whatever. And I was like, oh, that's too bad. Because I was kind of rooting for it. I was rooting for it because I wanted to see these other characters. I was kind of curious about them.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of got to think about it, how what was all going on at the time, Fox and Disney were in talks, about Disney acquiring Fox, and kind of like the same thing that happened with the Dark Phoenix X-Men movie, the last one that came out. With I feel like they just kind of gave up on it. They're like, okay, we're not going to have our hands on this property anymore. So, what's really the point? you know, it's nothing special anyways. So let's just get it done with, brush our hands off, and be done with it. Um, but I have heard good things about New Mutants, and I definitely do want to watch it. I'm a big fan of Maisie Williams. Um, is that her name? Maisie Arya from Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah, I know who. I'm not sure about her. I can't think of her real name, but yeah, I know her face. Like, I remember from stuff from Game of Thrones, like from the trailers and stuff. Yeah, and she had like shorter hair in this in the New Mutants, and they also had
Yeah, and just the
I was gonna say they also had Stranger Things, the older brother.
yeah, yep.
He's in it, and Anna Joy, or Anna Taylor Joy, yeah, Anna Joy Taylor, Anna Taylor Joy.
The Queen's Gambit.
Yes, yep. Many, especially if you have watched the movie Split, just with also with X-Men right there too, James McAvoy. But no, she's a great actress. So I'm like, and then you see her in New Mutants as well. I mean, they really did have in my opinion, they had definitely had a good cast, and I thought, oh man, this looks interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I mean, if the let's put it this way, if they like the characters, maybe they could bring in the actors and actresses from that movie to be put into in WandaVision or not. I mean, they could put them in other part of the series, maybe like Loki or something like that as well. It'd be kind of interesting if they bring
so like my kind of thought on it is that, you know, so like new mutants, that's, or like you were talking about, I forget what his last name, David, but Legion, from the FX show, you know, the kids from The Gifted, you know, some of these smaller X-Men, that I could definitely see them bringing in on WandaVision, you know, little smaller nuggets, you know, pieces of the puzzle. But like when it comes to like the bulk force of like the X-Men, like, we've seen Colossus in the Deadpool movies, but, you know, Colossus, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Rogue, Jubilee, Gambit, you know, that to me is movie stuff, because all you're getting, all Disney Plus is getting is, you know, they are getting, you know, millions of people subscribed, you know,
right,
to watch WandaVision, you know,
for sure.
But like that's kind of like big kind of drops like that. I just feel like that's not going to happen in a TV show. That's going to happen in a movie, and I believe that movie is Doctor Strange too. But you know,
for sure. But I though it's a little bit different though, because the way I look at it, streaming services, series tend to somehow bring in a little bit more, that they try to at least give you one big character review. So like if they get like Magneto, for example, if they get Magneto, for example, first of all, it would drop everything that everyone is enjoying about the show, because I'd be like, oh, Magneto's finally here. He's actually in WandaVision, you know. Whereas like, yeah, they probably would have had a tougher time, say if Shield like say, for example, if Shield was still on ABC right now, and they wanted to bring in an X-Men character, because the budget for that on ABC would probably be a lot less than what they're planned for the budget of.
Oh yeah.
So I feel like they would have a tougher time to get Magneto on there. So they would have to get somebody from the Gifted or somebody from Legion to kind of help them out. And so then for that purpose only. But yeah, I think I do think that the stuff on Disney Plus, that they could definitely bring in a lot more higher characters if they really wanted to. Like maybe like right now they'd be subtle about like maybe one character, maybe two characters. Like whether it's Rogue or Magneto or both of them, and they bring them in and that's it. And then we have to wait for season 2 or however they want to do it. But yeah, I think Disney Plus can definitely bring in a lot more of these of these higher characters from the movies. I think because they definitely want to incorporate the movies and then have them from the series also being part of the other part of the movies as well. So I think they're definitely going to be pushing that a little bit more than they ever could before from a regular series.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you also do have to think that, I definitely do understand your comparison to, Shield, the Agents of Shield show, but, Elizabeth Olsen is a breaking star. Paul Bettany, he's a pretty big, turning into a pretty big name. Catherine Hahn, she's a pretty big name. She's not a huge star, but she's in a lot of stuff.
Yep.
So it's not like that, and then when you go on to Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I forget his name, the guy that plays the Falcon, but he's blowing up. He's
Anthony Mackie.
He was in that. Yeah, there you go. He's blowing up. I haven't watched it yet, but I really want to see that. Was that Out of the Wire? That Netflix movie with him in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ones
I really want to watch that.
The ones that I've watched, I would have you recommend it to you if it's hopefully still on Netflix. But I didn't mind him in the second season of
Altered Carbon.
Altered Carbon, and then he also was in another movie with the other ex-Marvel guy who played the Frank Grillo. He was the anti Captain America, the guy that they ended up killing in the Civil War in the beginning. I forget his name, the character's name.
Wait, are you talking about the Winter Soldier? No.
No, not. Well, he was in Winter Soldier too. He was the guy that he played the guy that was out to assassinate Captain America. He had that was it like the black suit or whatever?
Oh my gosh,
I can't think of it. I could see it. I'm gonna get shunned from that. But anyways, he did a movie with Anthony Mackie on Netflix. I liked it. Gosh, now what is the name of it now? Oh great, now I can't think of the movie's title name. But anyways, he's playing like a nurse. Anthony Mackie is, and then Frank Grillo, he's playing like a hitman, kind of a hitman driver kind of a thing. and it's a pretty good movie.
You know what's cool?
Of the
You know
name.
what's cool about Netflix? What's cool about Netflix is that you can go to the search and you can just put in Anthony Mackie, and all the movies that are on Netflix that he's in
Yeah,
will pop up.
yeah, yeah. So it'll
So
definitely be in there. But yeah, it's no, it's definitely good. A movie to check out. Because there was two. I mean, there was two good Frank Grillo movies. Like because he was in there with Mackie, and then there was another one before that where he was just like a driver kind of a thing, like a kind of a driver hitman type of movie. But yeah, I enjoyed those kind of movies. So those are definitely something to check out for Netflix. But yeah, anyways, but it's kind of cool. I just like the fact like two Marvel guys were playing in a different kind of a movie, and I thought that was pretty awesome. You know, that you can finally continue it without him having to be in the Marvel movies anymore right now. But where was I going to go with that? So, but yeah,
was it
anyways.
Point? Was it Point Blank?
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah,
Or
the Point Blank movie. I think I'm pretty sure it was.
yeah,
Anthony
because that
Mackie
has
and
the guy. I know who
Grillo.
you're talking. I know the guy you're talking about from Civil War and stuff too. Now the
Yeah,
the Shield agent that was Hydra also. And
yeah,
yeah,
and he becomes the ultimate bad guy, or he was, yeah, and then they got rid of him in the beginning. I'm trying to think something else here, but yeah, anyways, I hope that again, I hope they can incorporate more characters down the line. I'm hoping to see that. I think that's going to be very exciting for Marvel right now that they can continue to keep doing that. And I think that's also going to be very good for Disney Plus as far as with Marvel goes forward.
yeah, and I think that's I do think that I think Doctor Strange is going to show up, but I don't think that's a big reveal. I think that's almost expected at this point.
Right.
But I think there's going to be a big reveal, and I think it's going to be X-Men related.
Yep.
I think it's going to be brief, but kind of like
Right.
Luke at the end of Mandalorian. But it's going to be
Right.
game changing, and it's going to all those people that haven't been watching WandaVision are going to get their subscriptions, and they are definitely going to pull in a lot of money just from this one reveal.
Oh, definitely. I mean, they're definitely going to want to bring in more subscribers. So, and yeah, that's definitely going to help Disney Plus a lot. And I also hope the Marvel series as they continue. And yeah, I'm just from there out. I mean, I'm curious to see how they're going to keep playing their stuff out. And yeah, I'll just go from there. That's pretty much it.
Okay, a couple quick questions before we wrap things up. We can kind of blaze through these. So, do you think Pietro is still from Fox's X-Men universe, or do you think he's just a random that Agnes shoved some Quicksilver memories into and had him was kind of puppeting him while he was interacting with Wanda.
It's a little bit of a, yeah, that one's tricky because I want to say that he is definitely from the Fox universe one, because they definitely had that from the prior episode, had that
Yeah,
dialogue, and to me it came across that he was definitely the Fox one. And the other, so then I guess then it goes from that and it becomes the question mark. Is he is he, for me, it's like, is he working for Agnes, or does he want to figure out what Agnes did to him too? So I guess
right.
I'm curious about whether that's going to play out. If I had to, I guess, take an estimated guess, I'm going to say he wants to know what's going on himself, but like what's going on in this part, and I think he wants to know why Agnes brought him over here. I think I'm taking that as my estimated guess, that I think he wants to know why she did that to him, and he wants to figure out, pretty much the why and that kind of thing. So
right.
That's my ultimate guess.
Right, because I actually think that that mid-credit scene with him and Monica, I don't think he was being malicious. I think he was being himself, in Fox's X-Men universe. He's kind of the smart aleck. He's kind of the comedy relief. I think that was him being him, and I'm kind of leaning towards that he is the Fox universe Quicksilver. And I think you're exactly right. I think he's probably starting to question what he's doing there. And I would really like for him and Vision to get together, and for Vision to do his little mind awakening thing on his brain.
Right. Oh, definitely. I think, that'll definitely be something. But I also, I mean, especially if he has a conflict with Agnes too, she'll probably tell him right away, like, "No, I brought you over from a different universe," and he'd be like, "What?" And then I think that would be the kind of like the little bit like, "Oh, okay, all right, I see how that was going on." So I think, that ultimate guess,
And another, you're right. Another reveal you could get is, Vision does his little mind thing on Evan Peters, Quicksilver guy, whatever. That's
right.
awkward, but and the first thing, or like one of the first things that he would say is like, what's going on? Where's Professor X? Where's Charles? Or something like that, something, relating to, the X-Men. And then we know immediately.
Right. Exactly. Yep. I definitely could see that happening as well. Them trying to, him like, where is everybody? Basically, I could see that definitely. There could be, and then as far as what Agnes does, to him as well, as far as like, she's like, I can, if you want me to, I can bring him over here as well. So there's definitely
Right.
something. There's definitely going to be something that's going to reveal with the Evan Peters.
More about. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely with
100%.
Quicksilver.
So
All
another
right.
quick question: is Agatha working alone?
I'm gonna say no. She's got Manifesto or somebody working with her.
Yeah. And then this is kind of just kind of a random thought I had. Um, so Monica gained her powers this episode, and there is one very specific thing that happened to her before she gained her powers. But do you think her being dusted or bleeped or blipped or whatever um, in any way allowed her to gain her powers? Do you think there was anything about the molecular breakdown of her body and reassembly, and then also going through the barrier? You think the blip or the dusting had any consequences into everything that's happened to her since then?
I I think there's a possibility. I mean, maybe one of the stones has obviously must have did something to her body. I think like to give her the abilities that we don't exactly know how it works. Like it, I'm trying to think because like when you snap the fingers from Infinity War to Endgame, when we'll say Infinity War first, like when Thanos would snap his fingers and everyone turned to ash, but because he thought of it that way,
Right.
but each stone has its own ability to like they both work together that way, but each stone has its own different
Yeah.
ability. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like for me, it something has to kind of give there, like it, it's almost like one of the stones, even
Eh,
when you turn to ash, like had to have affect that person in a way. So and
yeah. So almost like they've had everybody that's been dusted or blipped, they've had a close encounter with the stone, almost in the same way that the MCU Quicksilver and Wanda had a close encounter this with the stone, and that's how they gained their powers. And maybe
right,
being blipped or dusted is the first step of another way to get powers.
right. That's kind of what I've been thinking. But also with Monica too, like something um with Captain Marvel and her relationship with her mom that I feel like, in between there, somehow Captain Marvel somehow kind of had a little bit of an influence on her. And so
Oh, yeah.
maybe like Captain Marvel gave her some like something that she could kind of use to get abilities also. So I think there could be
Or
like a double whammy.
even just yeah, even like maybe just being around Captain Marvel, um, and then thinking about like Guardians of the Galaxy, um, Star Lord, his mother died from being around that one guy. Kurt Russell, Ego. She
Yeah,
died of cancer from being around him. Monica's mom died of cancer. Could that have been a side result of being around Captain Marvel? Is that why Captain Marvel doesn't hang around on Earth very much? Is that why Monica is mad at her? Sorry, this is all kind of coming. It's
Uh,
kind of
well,
rambling.
I mean,
Um,
it's
but
it's all possible. It's possible from like I guess like having. I'm assuming like what would that be like some type of radiation from their abilities, like some type
yeah,
of uh. I mean, it's possible with the whole thing with the cancer. Well, my other question is, right now they're saying her mother is dead. I I'm a little bit thinking like there's going to be another twist on that for Monica, that I think her mom is going to be alive. And I wonder, my question is, I wonder if Captain Marvel does like a decency thing and somehow cures her of her cancer. And then that'll be kind of like another reveal twist for Monica down the line. I mean, maybe not right away, but I mean, definitely down the line there, where we'll be like, oh, her mom is actually still alive.
that's interesting. Yeah, that would, um, you definitely you said farther down the line, there is another Captain Marvel movie coming out.
Right.
So
And
and
well,
I think Cap Captain Marvel 2 will definitely feature Photon or Spectrum, whatever they're going to end up calling Monica Rambeau.
right. And I also think, well, they'll probably, I'm assuming that because that they'll probably show Monica's mom having the cancer down the line in the movie, but they'll also probably show her in flashbacks with hanging around Captain Marvel when as much as he could possibly, was around when she's not, saving the world, of course. But I wonder, like, we'll probably see why they're kind of angry at each other. Where they why they get angry, and then I'm sure the cancer comes into play, and then we don't really know anything else. We just assume that, maybe they show her passing away, or maybe not. Because again, Hayward just says that she passed away, and we don't really know at this point in time. I mean, we did. That's all they're saying, but so I think there's a lot of things that's going to happen. But yeah, there could also be an end credit scene where maybe you see Captain Marvel save um, Monica's mom at the last minute or something. But I definitely think they'll for sure in Captain Marvel 2. I feel like there's going to be that explanation of why um, Monica has a disconnect right now with Captain Marvel and of both of
Oh
them
yeah,
having cancer. So I think they'll reveal a lot of that in the second movie. But I think down the line of storytelling for Marvel, that I think we'll find out that I think Monica's mom is alive, and I think Captain Marvel basically did something or phoned someone to um, help her to defeat that cancer.
yeah, yeah. And which actually, I started rewatching Captain Marvel. I was actually enjoying it a lot more than I remember enjoying it the first time I watched it. But some things came up, and I just never could finish it. Um, that's what another thing about this show. Really um, reawoke my inner Marvel fan. Because I've been rewatching a lot of the movies here recently, and there's some really good movies and there's some good stuff there.
Yeah. I I mean, I've always been wondering. Do you think though that they could have possibly like have done an Incredible Hulk right now, like another movie or maybe a series on Disney Plus? I don't know. I
Um,
just feel like
well,
Hulk should have had something though, like right now.
yeah, yeah. So it's the same thing with Spider-Man. So Sony
Yeah.
holds the distributing rights to any Spider-Man movie. Actually, I think they hold all the rights, but with the
Yes.
Hulk, Universal holds the distribution rights to the Hulk. So any movie made with the title Hulk in it would have to be
Mhm.
distributed through Universal. But
Interesting.
kind of like we saw, kind of like what we saw with Thor Ragnarok, um, he can be in as many movies as they want him to be, just as long as the title is not the Incredible Hulk or Hulk.
See, I got you. Interesting. Yeah, I
So
mean,
yeah,
I
they're like kind of like they did one of my favorite Hulk storylines is Planet Hulk, where he goes to the battle planet and he has to battle. It's kind of what we saw
yeah,
in Thor Ragnarok, but
Thor
it's a
Ragnarok,
little
yeah,
bit different. Um,
right,
but if you ever have a chance, check out Planet Hulk. It's um,
yeah,
they have an animated cartoon on Netflix, I believe, and my son is a big Hulk fan, and we rock that out a lot.
right. Yeah, I definitely want to check that out for the animation part of it, everything like that. But uh, I just I just think that since Hulk has been such a big character in Avengers and stuff, that I felt like they should have like a have him have a tie-in somewhere, and
Oh no,
hopefully,
yeah, it's a big shame.
hopefully, yeah. And well, you know what another big shame is though. That I want to point this out though. He doesn't have gamma rays. Like I liked it when he had the gamma rays where he would like use his hand and just slap his hands and the gamma rays would just come out and he would just smash everyone with that.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, don't
yeah.
get me wrong. I mean, I like the physical part of Hulk and in these Avengers movies and everything, but I miss those little details of like him using the gamma rays and and then maybe down the line having some of his villains show up. Um, I I, I think that they should have. I think down the line they should have um another Incredible Hulk, or maybe not Incredible Hulk right now, maybe just plainly Hulk um, series or movies that kind of get us more into that um,
Uh, they are doing the
universe with that with
She-Hulk.
them. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So maybe he'll get like a cameo in that or something, but
I hope so. Yeah,
because they needed keep
I'm
doing something with this
actually,
character.
yeah, I'm actually really excited for that She-Hulk. I forget the actress's name who is going to play the main role, but she was in a really good show that I used to like called Orphan Black. It was a BBC show, um, and she's really really good.
Okay.
I can't remember her name.
but she wouldn't. Obviously, her character's not going to be like what the like. She's not going to be like the Liv Tyler role. Like she's going to be a different person.
No.
Yeah. See, that was another thing too. Like, what I noticed about too is like when they because they made Hulk have more of a relationship with Black Widow in the series. They didn't, because like with the Incredible Hulk movie, he was still having like like a relationship with the other doctor or the general's daughter, and
Yeah.
they I don't know, it's like kind of unfortunate that there was like never any closure with those two characters. I don't
No
know.
conclusion
That's
to
the only
that at
kind of
all.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like completely written off completely. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I kind of wish that they would have done something like that, and also just the fact that again, like there could be other characters that they could use from Hulk universe to bring over to the to the multiverse basically. So yeah, there's a lot of characters I think about that I wish that they would incorporate a lot more too. But again, everything is gonna have to come out kind of come out into play to figure out what they want to do next. And and I guess this is kind of like my last like real quick thing is that don't get me wrong, I'm looking forward to the new Spider-Man movie when it comes out. And like I'm curious how that's going to play out also with the whole Marvel universe, because after this third Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man's going back to Sony, and so that Sony could have Spider-Man in that universe. But I'm curious to see how that would play from Sony's point, from the Sony version to back to like the MCU at some point of like how they would incorporate everything. I mean, that's gonna be my big interest as well.
I did not know that. So the Spider-Man 3 is the last team up with Marvel and Sony for Spider-Man.
Yeah, so like this. Okay, so this last Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man 3, and I'm not sure what I can't remember the actual title of it right now. But yeah, this one I guess is going to be the last one with the Disney MCU, and then supposedly down the line, Spider-Man will be back with Sony. And then, but what I'm curious about is, even with Spider-Man being back with Sony, so that way Sony can do whatever they want with Spider-Man. But I'm curious to see like how they would, like, if they do an Avengers movie, how they would throw Spider-Man from the Sony version into the MCU. I'm curious to see how they were going to play with that kind of formula, because it would be just too weird if like, yeah, it's like, okay, I get Sony's going to get him back and do whatever, but I'm curious to see.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how they would somehow share that Spider-Man to the MCU Avenger movie type of material. So I mean, unless again with the multiverse, they could do whatever. They could say whatever, I guess, and be like, oh, well, here's the Amazing Spider-Man
Yeah.
being put into whatever they call the next Avengers movie, and he's just there to help out. And but yeah, it's going to be very interesting for me,
Yeah.
for Marvel moving forward after all this. So I'm just very curious to see how Disney's going to do a lot of, how they're going to incorporate a lot of these things. I'm very, very curious.
Oh yeah, because they definitely have their hands full, because X-Men, you know, you know that's definitely on the suck. Like I hope that they can renegotiate and be able to keep Tom Holland in the MCU for a while. But you know, because that would be unfortunate if they have to either change it or whatever. But the X-Men are a very beloved um, group of mutants, and you know, um, no matter what they do, there's going to be some people that absolutely dislike whatever they're going to do with it, and there's going to be some people that love it, and there's going to be some people that are like, well, it is what it is. We got them. They're here. Um, but
Right.
I hope they do it. I hope they do it well. You know,
Yeah.
I I almost I don't know. I just it's crazy what they're up against. Like, are they just going to do a multiverse dump? Are they just going to be like, well, all this universe with all the X-Men is is about to die, and like we just need to bring them into our universe to save them, and then that's how we get to X-Men.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's going to be tricky.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting, but it's also like, too, I don't think they're going. I mean, unless they, because like in the Fox X-Men movies, like the humans. I mean, they're afraid of they're afraid of the mutants, but they also hate the mutants. And
Yeah.
I wonder how that's going to be incorporated into, like, especially when they do bring the X-Men over. I wonder if that's going to be the issue, like still be their issue, or if it's going to be more like X-Men are just
These
helping.
people are from a different reality.
Right. So like it's going to be interesting to see how that's going to play out for me, because it's like I'm curious to see, if the X-Men are just going to be basically just, they're just going to be like regular base kind of superheroes, where they're saving the day, and that's kind of it. And then Magneto's not, like, the Brotherhood would be like doing something else, like they'd be like like maybe they're taking over Shield or something like that, and and he's using it for something
Man,
else.
I hope not, because
Because I mean, I
I
don't know, I just don't really
if they
see it
if they
being
if
like,
they
what I'm trying to say is, like, I don't see it where Magneto's just going to be like, oh yeah, all the human beings suck, like, yeah, they all suck, we're going to destroy them. He's going to be probably doing something else, I'm guessing. Because I don't know what they're gonna. I mean, I don't really know what they're gonna do, but I mean, I just think that I don't think they want to do the Fox thing, so I feel like they're gonna have a different
well, I mean,
direction to that, I
even
guess.
in the comic books, even in the comic books, that was kind of the talking point with the X-Men, was that that discrimination, against mutants, that was always kind of the thing with X-Men. So, if they did steer away from that, I guess I would probably put myself in the camp where, I don't like what they're doing with the X-Men. So, because I think that discrimination that with the mutant, and regular humans, I think that's always kind of been the center point to a majority. I wouldn't say all of the X-Men stories, but I would say definitely a majority of them. Um,
Right? Yeah. No, I definitely agree. I just, yeah, I'm just very curious to see how they're going to play that out because I hope that they still incorporate a little bit of what Fox was kind of doing, like um with the humans hating the mutants or fearing the mutants. And then I also hope that they, like, for example, I hope they do bring in like the Sentinels too, because I think that um that would definitely be
Yeah.
the strong power play to have the X-Men go against the Sentinels, but also that the fact the Sentinels could be going off of the whole Marvel universe that way too. Like, they like, oh, they see
Yeah.
Captain
And
Marvel
you don't
and then try to bring her down or something like that.
yeah, and you don't have to try to fancy up the Sentinels like they did in what Days of Future Past. I hated those
Right. Yeah.
Sentinels.
Yeah. No, those
Like
Sentinels
I like that movie.
were not that
Yeah, those
good.
Sentinels, like that's yeah, it's like way too fancy. Like I did understand, they're supposed to be even future Sentinels, very high tech and stuff, but I just want to see a Sentinel like from the comics, from that 90s, the 90s X-Men cartoon,
Right.
those Sentinels. I
Right.
want to see that a little bit modernized, for live action, but basically that concept on screen,
Yep.
and I'll be a happy
I think
boy.
yeah. I mean, I think I I feel like that Disney would utilize that. I really do. Because if they don't have that type of Sentinel feel from the X-Men animated series or from the comics, I think then viewers will not they would not help the viewers out on that. And I think the viewers would just be like, okay, well then that's nothing. Now X-Men's pointless on here. So I do feel like Disney would have to consider the Sentinels at some point to be like, yeah, these are the one of the big bads to go after all mutant kind. So I think I would think that at least, but you never know. You never know what the
Yeah.
process is going to go through.
Yeah, but like you said, it's definitely going to be interesting to see how everything plays out. Especially in the near future, and within the next 2 weeks, we're going to be wrapping up WandaVision, um, and I think we're going to see some really cool things, and I think we're going to see some things that are going to set up what is going to happen. In some of the future movies. Possibly maybe set up some things that are going to happen in Spider-Man 3. I believe it's untitled still, isn't it?
I want to say they still gave it like like another homecoming kind of a title. I think like like hometown or something. I want to say I'm not 100% sure. I guess, but I thought that's what they were gonna. They wanted to still keep it kind of like the prior two movies were titled.
Yeah, I didn't do any real in-depth search, but it's just saying Spider-Man 3.
Okay.
Oh, that's Spider-Man 3. That's the Sam Raimi Spider-Man 3 though. Oops.
Yeah.
Um it's I'm not seeing anything off of a quick search. I might look into that. Where's Andrew Casale when you need him? He would know.
Yeah,
Um,
he would.
but I lost my train of thought. But I think I need to go ahead and end it. We're going on 3 hours. Is there any last thoughts on this episode or anything to come?
I think I feel like we covered it all pretty good. Yeah, I think that episode 8 is definitely they definitely led us into a strong episode 8, and with a good revealment today, and yeah, I think I'm excited to see episode 8 after today's episode.
Yeah, definitely me too. And for anybody who's watching this on replay or nope, um, we will be back next Friday, somewhere in between the times of 10:30 to 11. Fridays are usually kind of chaotic for me, and timing can be a little bit off. So we will be back next Friday to cover episode 8, which I'm sure is going to be a banger, and we're going to learn a lot more stuff. And even though I did not get another video out this week because it's been snowy and I've had a lot of different things that I've had to get done um, other than make YouTube videos. I am going to try to get one out, and it's going to be all about that book, what book it could be, um, and how it is going to bring forth Mephisto into WandaVision. So with that, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me, Taylor. It's always a pleasure to have you here. And
Yeah,
bye,
thank you
everybody.
for having me on. Bye.